Most men believe love is proven by how hard you hold on. They are wrong. Love reveals its true form the moment a man stops fearing loss. When you are no longer afraid to lose someone, you stop chasing reassurance. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop confusing attachment with depth. And something unexpected happens. Your presence becomes calm. Your words become intentional. Your love becomes steady, not desperate. This is not emotional distance. This is emotional strength. A Stoic man does not love to be chosen. He loves because he chooses. And once you understand how love changes when fear disappears, you will never approach relationships the same way again, not with anxiety, not with control, but with clarity. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where lessons about love will help you better understand this complex emotion. In today's video, we will learn together about how do Stoic men love when they no longer fear losing them. These are things that can change the way you perceive love in life. Be prepared because the secrets and insights you are about to discover may make you look back at yourself and the relationships around you. Before starting, find a quiet space, put on your headphones and relax. Let your mind completely immerse in these shares and enjoy every wonderful moment. Are you ready to discover new things about love? Let's start this journey with us right now. Part 1. When a man stops fearing loss, love changes forever. There is a version of love most men experience first. It is intense, emotional, and deeply afraid. Afraid of losing her. Afraid of saying the wrong thing. Afraid of not being enough. In that version of love, a man gives not from strength, but from fear. Fear that if he doesn't try harder, explain more, or sacrifice himself, everything will disappear. This is not weak love. It is inexperienced love. But it is not Stoic love. The root of fear in love. Fear in love does not come from caring too much. It comes from attachment to outcome. When a man ties his identity, his peace, and his self-worth to whether a woman stays or leaves, love becomes a transaction. He is no longer choosing her freely. He is investing in her emotionally and hoping for a return. This is where anxiety begins. Every delay feels personal. Every change in tone feels like danger. Every disagreement feels like a threat to survival. A man who fears loss does not love calmly. He loves vigilantly. And vigilance slowly destroys intimacy. Stoicism begins where fear ends. Stoic philosophy teaches that suffering is not caused by events, but by our attachment to what we cannot control. You cannot control feelings. You cannot control decisions. And you cannot control whether someone chooses to stay. The Stoic man accepts this early. Not with bitterness. Not with detachment. But with clarity. He understands a simple truth. Love given under fear is not love, it is negotiation. And negotiation poisons desire. The turning point, when a man realizes he will survive loss. Every experienced man reaches a quiet turning point. Usually after heartbreak. After betrayal. After giving too much to the wrong place. He realizes something profound. He survived. The pain did not kill him. The loneliness did not destroy him. The loss did not erase his identity. And once a man truly understands that, not intellectually, but emotionally, fear loosens its grip. From that moment on, love is no longer survival. It becomes choice. How a fearless man approaches love. A man who is no longer afraid of losing does not rush connection. He observes. He listens. He allows things to unfold without forcing them. He does not chase emotional reassurance. He does not over-explain his intentions. He does not mold himself to be chosen. Because he already knows. If this connection ends, he will still be standing. That knowledge changes everything. His presence becomes calm. His words become measured. His affection becomes grounded. There is no urgency. No emotional pressure. And paradoxically, this calm creates safety and attraction. Detachment is not coldness. This is where many misunderstand Stoic love. Detachment does not mean lack of emotion. It means freedom from fear-driven behavior. The Stoic man still loves deeply. He feels disappointment. He feels desire. He feels attachment. But he does not let those feelings dictate undignified action. He does not beg. He does not threaten. He does not cling. He allows people to be who they are. And reveals himself without apology. Why fearless love feels different to a woman. A woman can feel when a man is afraid to lose her. It shows in his tone. His reactions. His need for validation. And while that fear may feel flattering at first, it becomes exhausting. Fearless love feels different. It is not intense, it is stable. Not dramatic, but consistent. Not overwhelming, but grounding. A man who is not afraid to lose does not place emotional weight on her shoulders. She is not responsible for his happiness. She is not managing his insecurity. She is simply invited into his life. And that invitation feels powerful. The inner frame of the Stoic lover. At the core of Stoic love is inner sovereignty. The Stoic man's peace comes from alignment with himself. Not from external validation. He has values. He has structure. He has purpose beyond the relationship. So when he loves, he adds, he does not depend. This makes his love clean. No hidden contracts. No unspoken expectations. No emotional debt. Just presence, offered freely. Why this kind of love is rare. Most men never release their fear of loss. They move from relationship to relationship hoping the next one will heal the insecurity the last one revealed. But fear cannot be healed by another person. It is dissolved by self-trust. The trust that no matter what happens, you will remain whole. And only from that place can Stoic love exist. The foundation is set. This is where everything begins. Before boundaries. Before silence. Before walking away. Stoic love starts with a man who knows. I can lose you, and still keep myself. From that truth, a different kind of love emerges. Calm. Grounded. Unshakable. And this is only the beginning. Love is not only about happy moments, but also about challenges that help us realize our inner strength. It is through difficulties that we learn patience, tolerance, and how to love without losing ourselves. This is also the reason why I share stories here, so that you can find calmness and wisdom in your journey of love. If you feel these words touch you, please take a second to click like to spread this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe with the notification bell, to always be the first to receive new shares. Don't forget to leave a comment below, share your feelings or a lesson you learned after listening to this story. Each line you share is a way for us to connect and accompany each other. Now, get ready, because the next part will bring you even deeper insights. Part 2, How Stoic Men Love Without Chasing, Controlling, or Proving. When fear disappears, a man's behavior in love changes in subtle but powerful ways. He no longer feels the urge to chase. He no longer tries to control outcomes. And he no longer needs to prove his worth. Not because he doesn't care, but because he finally understands where his value comes from. Why chasing is rooted in insecurity. Chasing is not driven by desire. It is driven by uncertainty about one's own worth. A man chases when he believes affection must be earned through effort, persistence, or sacrifice. So he texts more, explains more, gives more than he should. But attraction does not grow under pressure. It grows under freedom. The Stoic man knows this intuitively. He does not withdraw to manipulate. He simply refuses to overinvest where balance is lost. Presence instead of pursuit. A Stoic man does not pursue emotionally unavailable people. He offers presence, not pressure. If interest is mutual, the connection deepens naturally. If it isn't, he steps back without resentment. There is no dramatic exit. No wounded pride. Just adjustment. Because a man at peace with loss does not force alignment. Why control is a symptom of fear. Control often masquerades as care. Where are you? Who were you with? Why didn't you reply? These questions are rarely about concern. They are about anxiety. A Stoic man does not attempt to control another human being. He understands that loyalty chosen freely is the only loyalty that matters. If someone needs monitoring to stay, they were never truly staying. Letting people reveal themselves. One of the most powerful traits of the Stoic lover is patience. He does not rush to define the relationship. He does not force clarity prematurely. He allows time to reveal character. Because time is honest. Consistency cannot be faked forever. Values cannot be hidden indefinitely. By not controlling, he observes. An observation gives him information, not anxiety. Why proving yourself destroys desire. The need to prove oneself is rooted in doubt. Doubt that who you are is already enough. So men compensate. They overgive. Overpromise. Overperform. The Stoic man does none of this. He shows up as he is, without embellishment. He knows that real attraction is not created. It is recognized. If someone needs convincing, they are not aligned. And alignment cannot be negotiated. The quiet confidence of self-sufficiency. A Stoic man does not rely on a relationship to feel complete. He has work that challenges him. Principles that guide him. Solitude he is comfortable with. This self-sufficiency is not emotional distance. It is emotional stability. And stability is deeply attractive. Because it signals that his love is a gift, not a request. How Stoic men handle mixed signals. Mixed signals do not confuse the Stoic man. They inform him. He does not decode. He does not chase clarity. He matches energy. If effort decreases, he adjusts. If communication fades, he gives space. No ultimatums. No drama. He respects what is shown, not what is promised. Freedom is the ultimate test of love. The Stoic man gives freedom fully. And he watches carefully. Those who value him lean in. Those who don't drift away. Both outcomes are acceptable. Because love that survives freedom is real. And love that collapses under it was never solid. Why this kind of love feels safe and unsettling. To the right woman, Stoic love feels safe. There is no emotional volatility. No pressure to perform. No fear of abandonment used as leverage. To the wrong woman, it feels unsettling. Because there is no control. And without control, manipulation fails. The unspoken message behind Stoic love. Without ever saying it, the Stoic man communicates. I am here because I choose to be. I enjoy you, but I don't need you to survive. I value connection, but not at the cost of myself. That message is felt, not heard. And it defines every interaction that follows. Part 3, How Stoic Men Set Boundaries Without Ultimatums or Emotional Conflict. One of the clearest signs a man no longer fears loss is how he sets boundaries. Not loudly. Not aggressively. Not with threats or emotional speeches. But calmly, through behavior. A Stoic man understands something most men learn the hard way. Boundaries explained are often boundaries weakened. Boundaries lived are boundaries respected. Why most men struggle with boundaries in love? Men struggle with boundaries because they confuse them with rejection. They fear that saying no will create distance. They fear that standing firm will cause loss. They fear that boundaries make them less lovable. So they tolerate inconsistency. They excuse disrespect. They stay silent about what bothers them, until resentment builds. This is not patience. This is self-abandonment. And self-abandonment always ends the same way. With quiet bitterness and loud regret. The Stoic definition of a boundary. A boundary is not a demand for someone else to change. It is a decision about your own behavior. The Stoic man does not say, "You need to treat me differently." He says, silently and clearly, "If this continues, I will adjust my presence." No threats. No negotiations. Just consequence. Boundaries without ultimatums. Ultimatums come from fear. They are attempts to control an outcome rather than accept reality. If you don't change, I'll leave. If you do this again, we're done. The Stoic man does not speak this way. He watches patterns, not promises. And when a pattern violates his standards, he acts. He pulls back. He creates distance. He disengages. Calmly. This is not punishment. It is alignment. Why silence is often the strongest boundary. Words invite debate. Silence invites reflection. When a Stoic man encounters repeated disrespect, mixed signals, or emotional games, he does not argue. He removes access. Less availability. Less emotional investment. Less presence. That reduction communicates everything. Because people respect what they can lose. And they dismiss what is endlessly available. Handling pushback without emotional conflict. When boundaries are enforced quietly, pushback often comes. Confusion. Defensiveness. Accusations of coldness. The Stoic man does not react emotionally. He does not defend himself. He does not over-explain. He remains consistent. Consistency is the language of authority. And authority does not argue. Why boundaries reveal true character? Boundaries function as filters. Those who value you adjust naturally. Those who benefited from your lack of boundaries resist. This is not a failure. It is information. A Stoic man welcomes this clarity. He would rather lose someone early than lose himself slowly. The internal boundary that matters most. The most important boundary is not external. It is internal. The boundary that says, "I will not stay where I feel anxious. I will not pursue where effort is one-sided. I will not explain my worth." Once this boundary is established internally, external boundaries become effortless. You no longer react. You respond. You no longer tolerate. You choose. Why fearless men don't need conflict. Emotional conflict is often a symptom of inner confusion. A man unsure of his value argues. A man afraid of loss negotiates. A Stoic man does neither. He accepts outcomes. If someone crosses a line once, he notes it. If it becomes a pattern, he steps back. No anger required. No speech is needed. Boundaries are how love stays clean. Healthy love requires limits. Not walls, limits. Limits protect respect. Limits preserve attraction. Limits maintain self-respect. A Stoic man understands that love without boundaries becomes dependency. And dependency is not love. It is fear wearing intimacy's mask. The quiet authority of a grounded man. When a man sets boundaries calmly, something shifts. He no longer feels the need to be understood. He no longer fears being misunderstood. He trusts his judgment. And trust in oneself is the foundation of masculine authority. Not dominance. Not control. Clarity. This is what it means to love without fear. A man who no longer fears loss does not fight to be respected. He lives in a way that makes disrespect incompatible with staying. That is Stoic love in practice. Firm. Quiet. Unshakable. At this point, you may have seen yourself in the stories above, sometimes weak, sometimes strong, and sometimes not knowing what to do in love. But it is those moments that make us real and worthy of respect. If you feel the same, please click like to let me know you are here, accompanying me. And if you haven't clicked subscribe yet, don't hesitate, because every day I will share more stories and new lessons, to help you have a calmer view of love. Now, let's move on to the final part, where we will touch on deeper things. Part 4, How Stoic Men Handle Distance, Silence, and Emotional Withdrawal. Distance is where most men lose themselves. A delayed reply. A colder tone. Less initiative. For the man who fears loss, distance triggers panic. He overthinks. Overtexts. Overexplains. But for the Stoic man, distance is not a threat. It is information. Distance reveals, it does not create. A Stoic man understands that distance does not create emotional change. It reveals it. When interest fades, it was already fading internally long before behavior changed. So he does not try to force closeness. He observes. Because forcing intimacy where alignment is gone only accelerates loss. Why silence is not an emergency. Silence terrifies men who depend on emotional reassurance. They interpret silence as rejection. As abandonment. As danger. The Stoic man interprets silence differently. He asks, what is being shown to me right now? Not emotionally. Factually. And facts do not require panic. Matching energy, not forcing connection. When communication slows, the Stoic man does not chase the previous rhythm. He adjusts. He matches energy calmly. Not to manipulate. Not to punish. But to stay aligned with reality. This prevents emotional imbalance. And emotional balance is what preserves self-respect. Why overreaction kills attraction? Nothing drains attraction faster than emotional overreaction. Long messages. Repeated questions. Seeking reassurance. These behaviors communicate one thing. Fear. The Stoic man avoids this instinct. Not because he is cold. But because he is disciplined. Allowing space without losing presence. Giving space does not mean disappearing. It means remaining steady without intruding. The Stoic man does not disappear dramatically. He becomes less available. He redirects energy inward. Work. Health. Purpose. And this inward shift stabilizes him. What happens when you don't react? When you don't react to distance, something shifts. Sometimes interest returns. Sometimes it doesn't. But clarity always does. And clarity is more valuable than false hope. Stoic men don't fear emotional withdrawal. Emotional withdrawal is not something to be fought. It is something to be respected. If someone pulls away emotionally, the Stoic man does not pull harder. He gives room. Because closeness chosen freely is the only closeness worth having. The power of non-interference. Non-interference is not indifference. It is trust. Trust in the process. Trust in oneself. Trust that forced outcomes lead nowhere good. The Stoic man allows things to unfold. And unfolding reveals truth. Why stillness is attractive. Stillness signals self-control. A man who remains calm under emotional uncertainty communicates strength. Not dominance. Not arrogance. Stability. And stability is rare. Distance is a test, not of love, but of self-mastery. Distance tests patience. Silence tests discipline. Withdrawal tests ego. The Stoic man passes these tests not by doing more, but by doing less. Less reacting. Less chasing. Less self-betrayal. This is how fear loses its power. Fear feeds on urgency. When urgency disappears, fear starves. The Stoic man starves fear by remaining grounded. He does not fight distance. He lets it speak. And what it says guides his next move, or his exit. The man who can sit with silence is free. A man who can sit calmly with silence has already won. He is no longer enslaved by outcomes. He is no longer ruled by anxiety. He is present. And presence is power. Part 5, Why Stoic Men Love Deeply, and Walk Away Cleanly. The deepest form of love is not attachment. It is clarity. A Stoic man does not love halfway. When he chooses, he commits fully, emotionally, mentally, and ethically. But what makes his love different is this. He never trades his identity for connection. Why loving deeply requires inner independence. Most men believe deep love requires emotional dependence. That to love fully, you must risk losing yourself. The Stoic man knows otherwise. He loves deeply because he is independent, not despite it. His independence allows him to give without fear, without strategy, without hidden contracts. He does not love to be needed. He loves to share. And sharing does not require self-erasure. Commitment without attachment to outcome. A Stoic man commits to behavior, not to guarantees. He commits to honesty. To presence. To consistency. But he does not commit to controlling the future. If the relationship grows, he grows with it. If it ends, he accepts it without collapse. This is not emotional detachment. It is emotional maturity. Why walking away is not betrayal. Walking away is often framed as failure. As abandonment. As weakness. But staying where alignment is gone is the real betrayal. A Stoic man walks away not because love vanished, but because respect and truth no longer coexist. He refuses to fake closeness. He refuses to negotiate dignity. So when he leaves cleanly. No lingering bitterness. No emotional debt. Clean exits preserve self-respect. A clean exit is quiet. No final speeches. No emotional ultimatums. No attempts to be remembered. Just acceptance. The Stoic man understands that dragging endings only multiplies pain. Closure is not something another person gives you. It is something you grant yourself. Why Stoic men don't burn bridges. He does not demonize the past. He does not rewrite history to protect his ego. He acknowledges what was real. And what no longer is. This allows him to move forward unburdened. No resentment. No unresolved anger. Just learning. The paradox of deep love and easy departure. This is the paradox most men struggle to understand. Only the man who can walk away easily can love deeply. Because his love is not driven by fear. He does not cling. He does not hoard. He is present and free. The legacy of Stoic love. Over time, this way of loving shapes a man. He becomes selective, not guarded. Open, not desperate. Calm, not cold. People feel this. Because emotional stability is felt long before it is understood. The final truth. A Stoic man does not fear loss. Because he has already learned how to keep himself. He knows that love is meaningful not because it lasts forever, but because it is lived with integrity while it exists. And when it ends, he does not fall apart. He steps forward, whole. That is Stoic love. Not loud. Not fragile. But enduring. Conclusion. When a man no longer fears loss, love stops being a battlefield. There is no need to chase. No urge to control. No compulsion to prove. Love becomes a choice, not a survival instinct. The Stoic man loves with clarity because he understands a simple truth. Nothing outside of him defines his worth. He offers presence freely, without bargaining. He commits honestly, without attachment to outcome. And when alignment fades, he walks away without anger or regret. This does not make him cold. It makes him grounded. Because love driven by fear always asks for reassurance, control, or sacrifice of self. Love driven by strength asks only for truth. The Stoic man does not stay where respect disappears. He does not fight for attention. He does not confuse intensity with depth. Instead, he honors himself first, and from that place, he can honor another fully. If love continues, he remains present and steady. If it ends, he accepts it cleanly, without bitterness. Either way, he remains whole. This is the quiet power of Stoic love. Not loud. Not dramatic. But enduring. And in a world where most men love from fear. The man who loves without it becomes unforgettable. Not because he clings. But because he stands firm in who he is. Thank you for watching the whole video. I hope that today's sharing about love will bring you new perspectives and help you gain valuable lessons. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your loved ones. I am very grateful for your companionship, and hope that each video will help you get closer to a happy and lasting love. See you in the next videos. Wish you a wonderful and inspired day.